more voltage to the table.
Oh my God.
Oh no! Hey everybody, guess what we're doing? We're doing the very first camping trip of the season. Now, is it the season? I don't know, it's pretty snowy out, but I think by Canadian standards, it's not freezing and the roads are clear. Seems like we should go on an RV trip. What do you think, Johanna?
Yes.
Let's do it. Stop barking at mommy. We'll be right back. Now today we're just getting the trailer. We're gonna get prepped and tomorrow we're heading out. But before we go get the trailer, first thing we gotta do is coffee. Coffee with a lot of whipped cream, and then we get one of those chocolate chip cookies. Because those are awesome cookies.
You are the best.
And Johanna's gonna get something too.
Coffee with like a bunch of oatmeal. You don't have any cinnamon buns left.
I do. I just gotta prep them up.
Okay, one of those.
One of those suckers.
we're going to get our trailer.
This is Trip. Thanks so much.
There we go. Work to do back here.
Uh-oh, is there water?
No, but we didn't ever screw in the metal. I'll show you. So we got to put this back in with these screws.
Okay.
And so yeah, let me grab the drill.
Yup.
If you look, you can see the snow. Look like inside. I've never seen that.
Can't see the sky.
Such a little Ready to go camping? Wanna go up? Inside? Come on, Lizzie. Come up. Hey, get snow everywhere. Hey, don't lock me in here. You guys
I'm not going in unless you come with me.
is if you could get the inside sort of prep for travel a little bit, and I'm gonna go and screw in those screws with the drill gun.
Okay.
And then we'll start packing up. We probably are gonna have some snow on the roof,
Yeah.
so we gotta figure out how I want to deal with that.
Slam on your brakes.
Where's my mark? There it is. Oh, don't touch that. It is icy, 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 icy. Okay, you line up the hitch visibly, and I will tell you whether you're back far enough. Whoa, whoa, whoa! So it turns out we got a lot of snow on top of the RV. I'm not so worried about it as far as the weatherproof. The RV is waterproof, but I don't want to drive around. It's just above freezing temperature, and this stuff's all going to start coming off on the freeway. I don't want to be launching ice chunks into people. So I'm going to go real slow around this industrial area, see if I can get it to slide off and melt off. We'll see. Look at this beautiful, gorgeous weather. Got the RV parked at home. It's Friday, so we're gonna leave Saturday morning, tomorrow morning. It is gonna start raining here, but where we're heading, it should be either no rain or snow, really. That's gonna be good. Most of the snow is off the top. We got it all off on the trip over. Didn't break anybody's windshield with the ice. I'll tell you, I think I left a little something in the black tank because it was fine when it was parked and when we got in there. But on the drive over, I stirred up something and whoo! So I think the first thing I'll be doing is going by the dump on my way out and getting rid of that. Giving a fresh clean to the black tank. So this is gonna be a cold RV trip, and it's gonna be below freezing where we're going. And we gotta be worried about the dogs. Sometimes they gotta stay in the truck while we go shopping or get food. And so one of the things we're going to be using the all powers unit for is keeping the dogs warm when we're actually shopping or outside of the truck, or really even when we're driving down the road. And this is how we're going to do it. We basically take a heating pad. It's one of our older heating pads, and we've kind of dedicated to the dogs. We plug it into the all powers unit, and then we can fire up the heating pad, keeping the dogs warm. We keep it on low. I don't want to overheat them, but it means they've always got this warm source here in the middle of their bed. I've seen them both share it at times. I'll actually throw the blanket over the top so it really radiates and just makes a general warm area. And of course, I can continue to monitor the battery on my phone and kind of see, is it running low? Is the heating pad on? It does have an auto shut off like after an hour or something like that. So occasionally I have to turn the heating pad off and on, and I can just look on my phone and say, hey, is this thing on? This is gonna be a great use for this whole trip in the next few days, keeping our dogs warm. And so of course it has taken us the whole day to get out the door. I woke up early, woke up around 6, started packing around 7, and I think it's like 2 in the afternoon and we're 30 minutes from our house. Now we did just go and get some food because you gotta load up. I'll show you what some of the stuff is that we packed. We actually pre-cooked a lot of food, so this should be a very easy culinary trip. We got lots of food. I did stop to do a dump, didn't film it, but it was a bad situation. Let's just say there's still snow, still some frozen stuff, and there was a lot of poopsicles. It just was a bad situation, but done, all clean, I'm out of there. Trailer smells great. Now, we're gonna hit the road, try to find some place to camp, because the places we thought we were going to camp turns out are sold out. So let's find something. We've hit the road. We're looking out ahead here. The mountain's coming up, and you can just see the line of clouds. That means that that's the snow line. So in a little while, we should be in the snow. And it looks like that we've decided to stay at the Manning Park. It's a provincial park. It's got a drive-in, first come first serve area that you can go to, and there's also an RV park space that we might be able to get a space tomorrow. So tonight we'll be off the grid. Tomorrow we might plug in. We'll see how it goes. They just didn't show up. Well, if you have a backup camera, you can assume it is not going to be useful to you once you start driving in snow. Well, we made it to Manning. We're here at the Skyview RV Park. It's basically an official campground here with, power and such, but I'm not sure that we're staying here tonight. I think we're going to stay close by, off grid, and then see if we can't stay here tomorrow. Problem is, it's a 3-day weekend, so they won't let us book online for a 3-day weekend for just one night. So we're gonna see if we can book tomorrow. So Brett helped us out. He explained us how it works. We're gonna go park at the day use area at Lightning Lake. Apparently you can just camp at the day use area. It costs to be prepaid. We won't get woken up in the morning, and we expect that there will be spaces here tomorrow. There's people who are leaving early. I know I saw some spaces, so we can't book online because of the 3-day weekend, but we can come here tomorrow. We might just stay here and plug in for the night. It is a beautiful spot. Check it out. Lizzie here. She is excited. She's ready to go in the snow. As soon as we get parked, I'll have to be a little aware of how many people are around because, you know, leashes and such, but we're gonna let her get a little snow time in. Let her have a little fun. Linus, he probably will get a little bit of snow time.
Get out of that.
Oh no! We actually left a couple of chicken wings in the bag right here going in there. Not with these guys. They almost got them. We lucked out. Apparently there's going to be just enough snow to make it nice and pretty, but not enough to really mess everything up. Around 11 a.m. they go through and start plowing. So yeah, we're going to go out to Lightning Lakes. It's a day use area, but you know, nobody's coming out. It's a pretty loose situation out here in the winter. We've been wanting to stay at Manning Park for years. We've driven through here a lot. It's really not that far from where we live, so often we keep going. This is where we go out to Headley, we go out to Osoyoos, we go out to all kinds of places farther from here. But for once, we're actually just going to stay here. Even though it's close, it is up in elevation. That's why we're seeing the snow. I believe there's some skiing here as well, but we don't ski, so that's not an issue. Johanna's just getting something from the, oh, you can see her right there. Johanna's just getting something from the trailer, and we're going to head out and go find a spot to park.
It's not gonna work.
Look at how much crap got on here. All right, so we are settling into the rig, but it's a little chilly in here. So we've got our heater on, and to be honest, the Truma Combi heater works great, but you still have to wait, what, 20, 30 minutes for all the surfaces to warm up. And we want to get some heat going faster. I don't want to use up the battery power in the trailer. So since we have the all powers unit, and there's still so much power left over after today's use for the heating pad, that we brought it inside now, and now I'm going to plug in an electric space heater and just let that run for a little while. I know it's going to drain the battery a bit, but tomorrow we'll recharge the battery off the sun and we'll be back to normal. So let's check it out. Let's see how warm we can get it in here and how quickly, because it's chilly. So I'll look at the timestamp of the two videos and tell you exactly how much time elapsed. I'll put it right here. But in that time, it went from, you know, the 80s to 49 pretty quick. So it is really helpful to use it as a boost to get it warmer in here. And it's definitely feeling warmer in here. But you're going to give up a lot of your battery capacity. I'm not really worried about it. We're going to charge it off the solar panel once the sun comes out tomorrow. Plus, we always have the generator if we need it. So we knew we weren't going to be barbecuing. We weren't going to be cooking that much on this trip. We wanted to make it really easy. So we have spaghetti sauce that we made a while back. We tend to make big pots of spaghetti sauce and then we freeze it all. And so we brought some of this frozen spaghetti sauce, and then we pre-cooked some pasta. So we actually cooked some spaghetti and didn't put any sauce or anything, just, you know, packaged it up, left it a little al dente, so we didn't cook it real soft. And then once this pasta sauce is defrosted, we're gonna throw the pasta in, and with one pot, we've got our dinner taken care of. Thanks for setting it up, honey.
Of course.
Good morning, everybody. Well, we had a cold but very comfortable night. We got down to around 20 degrees Fahrenheit last night, and that makes for a pretty chilly Ember. I mean, we kept warm, we've got blankets. It wasn't like we were uncomfortable, but you could feel the chill in the air. There are a lot of air, there's a lot of cold seeping in to the Ember from various cracks. The one thing that kind of sucked last night, and it really threw us for a loop, was we were pulling out some of the blankets and we found some mouse nest. So we had to start kind of taking about half our blankets and putting them in a bag to go wash and, you know, sanitize, because clearly we've had a mouse in here. Luckily, the other side, everything else was like clean and fine, and there was no mouse. We found under the bathroom sink, which is where I think they might be coming up on the hoses. So we've got some foam sealing to do there. And they actually had gotten into one of the cabinets behind our couch, which is where we keep all of our blankets. But one, I guess, was kept propped open because the blankets were sort of puffed out. And I guess he went in there. And I mean, if I was a mouse, that'd be a pretty darn good place to make a bed inside a whole bunch of blankets. So that really sucked. I mean, the whole trip, I was like, so what's going to be the disaster that throws this thing for a loop? Well, I guess that was it. And I don't know. We made the best of it. We kind of cleaned all the areas with, you know, we've got all our cleaners with us. So we wiped down all the areas. We segregated all the blankets and stuff that we'll be washing and sanitizing. And we made do. You got to roll with the punches, right? I mean, it totally sucks. I prefer we did not have mouse intrusion, clearly where we're storing it. It was a very small mouse from the looks of the little micro poops, but there was a mouse. So I'm not the first one with a mouse in their trailer, and I won't be the last. And this probably won't be the last time we deal with a mouse in the trailer. Anyway, let's get to the fun part. Look how beautiful it is. We got some snow last night. We're here at the day use area. And again, this is available to people to camp in the winter. They just let people overflow into here. That worked great for us. There were some campers walking up to the RV park that we showed earlier. And as they walked past it, they said, "You can park here?" We're like, "Yeah, and it's only $13 versus the $51 up at the park." And they were like, "Man, we made the wrong decision." And I was really happy that my wife and I thought outside the box for this one. So look at this. You can see I got some snow last night. Not too much, just enough to make everything pretty and clean. We're over here at the lake, so there's basically a lake out there. Although it does warn everyone not to walk on the ice. I think some people were, but I'm not the kind of person to walk on ice unless I know it's real safe. So we're gonna take it easy this morning. If you got an Ember and you had mice, let us know how you solved it. I know I've read some of the articles of people dealing with it, but yeah, c'est la vie. That means that's life in French. Okay, update. So we ended up letting my wife sleep in this morning. She had a pretty rough night sleeping, not really related to the cold. And so I just, she slept in. So it's like 11 a.m. now. We haven't moved yet, but really the RV park's not technically available till 1. So it's about a mile from here. We got some other RVers right here. There you go. See, it's not so bad. We got renters doing it. You see a lot of renters and those adventurers here on BC. I did kind of blow it this morning. I thought I'd be the smart guy. We were down to 50%. The neighbors had driven away. I thought, let me throw the generator on. I'll top it off and I'll be able to run the electric space heater for a while. Really get it toasty inside. So I went out and fired up the generator. Cool. Went inside, plugged in the heater. It was great. And about an hour and a half later, ka-choosh, it all shut down because it turns out I forgot to plug in the extension cord. You know, basically I forgot to plug in the trailer to the generator. So the generator sat there for a good hour, just running, or probably 2 hours, not charging my trailer. My trailer got down to 0%. What a bonehead move. It's a real start of the season move. And this is pretty much just for the Ember RV owners right here. But I left my master volt also on 30 amps. So all of a sudden it's like, you know, my generator's starting to kind of max out. I'm trying to charge one of my all powers units off of it, and the generator's not holding up. And I tried letting Lizzie jump around and play off leash. And as soon as I did, she went crazy like a banshee. So I had to put her back inside. We'll have to find someplace a little more secluded for her to run off leash. This was not the place. Sometimes that little girl gets really out of control. Stop. And she's white. So she is just completely camouflaged if there's cars coming, and there were. Luckily they did see her, but she's hard to see, like a white jackrabbit in the snow. So I think we're gonna go check out the RV park now. We're gonna see if we can get in. It's been a beautiful morning here. Probably should have filmed more, but you know how it is. Sometimes when you're enjoying it, you're not filming it. Then we're gonna figure out whether we're gonna unhook and go on a day trip or just kind of stick around and enjoy the snow. Maybe I'll start up the propane tank outside, get some fire going, and I don't know, just relax. That was the whole point of coming out. Oh, Mr. Linus, there he goes. Cool. That's more his style. We need to get doggy snowshoes. Go see. You're gonna start? I'm gonna, nope. There's some sun coming out through.
Hello?
Put it in reverse and go ahead and just roll real gently back. Thank you. So the problem is that the wooden block is frozen in the snow. Oh boy.
You need help? Alright, so what's...
I thought it was gonna be harder. There we go. That's why you always carry a crowbar. Oh, that's good. So again, I'm batting 1,000 with these folks out here at Manning. They still don't know if there's a space here. I mean, we're here like at 11:30. They suspect there are going to be some. They don't want to just, people could have just left for a while and they don't want to take their space and give it away if they've reserved it. Let's see what my wife wants. They can't say that these spaces are available yet. It's too early. Some of them look empty. They won't know probably till like, 1 or 2 and check back then. I said, well, is there someplace we can park our trailer so we can go like to Princeton and go for a drive for the day and come back? And they said, well, you can just go park it back down at the day use area. And I said, really? And they said, yeah. And I said, okay. And they said, yeah, then come back here and check. When you come back, we'll know by then. I said, if nothing else, I can just stay down there again, right? And they're like, yep. And I said, generator, nobody cares, right? They go, nope. So I'm like, maybe we should just stay down there. So I'm suggesting what we do is we turn around, go back to Lightning Lake, park, unhook, and go for a day trip over to Princeton, maybe Headley, come back in a couple hours, and we can just stay there for the night again, or we can come up here, and we can choose at that point.
Okay.
What do you think of the idea? And what's your thoughts?
I think it's okay. The only thing I was kind of concerned about is I thought we wanted power for tonight.
Well, yes, except that we can run the generator all night, and it's been working fine. I mean, the big thing is I screwed up and didn't plug it in this morning, right? It means I might have to get out and turn it on in the morning. But is that worth 40 bucks or 30 bucks more? Because again, we'll pay 10 bucks in gas. Bit of an angle today.
Yay!
Hey everyone, we dropped by the Headley Country Store before. It's in Headley, BC. It's a very small town, a lot of pensioners, and you know, it's just a very small town. But one thing we love is this little country store. And you know, it's a nice little country store and all, but what it really has is some great pies and some great muffins and some other goods. So we're gonna pop in there. We pretty much won't get within, I don't know, 20 kilometers of this place without making sure we stop by. Oh, and there goes the plow again. Mr. Plow.
Shut up, boy. Ah! So remember, call Mr. Plow. That's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow.
So it looks like here it's the end of the weekend. It's getting a little bit of slim pickings, but Johanna's going to show you some of the cool things they have.
Here's some apple turnovers, I think. Then they got some maple walnut muffins. And there's a few blueberry pies left. Check it out. Pies, I should say. There's an apple and a peach. I grabbed the blueberry because I am not a fan of the apple or the peach in general. It's not them, it's me. And then there's cookies.
Yeah.
I don't think we tried these cookies.
Well, we didn't make it very far, technically speaking. I mean, we drove around a lot yesterday, but we camped at the same spot we camped yesterday. Because why move? It's freaking beautiful here. I mean, it's gorgeous. Not only that, but when we stopped back here, right at the end of the day, we caught the staff right before they left. They were actually looking for us because they knew we were parked here. He said there's spaces up at the RV park. And I thought, I could spend $51 and have power. And then I asked, well, wait a minute, can I just run my generator all night here? He goes, sure. It's like, okay, well, then I'd rather spend around, $15 on gas, $13 on the space, and I came out ahead. And of course, we have all this. We don't have neighbors next to us. The nearest guy is down there. We did run the generator all night. I asked if that was okay, and the staff said that's fine. We had it running when these guys arrived, so hopefully they knew what they were getting into. But also, we have an ultra-quiet generator. We had it on the minimum setting, so it was low idle. And with all this snow sucking up all the sound, I'm pretty sure they couldn't even hear it. So here we are now. We've done a couple of nights in what's basically 20 Fahrenheit or -7 weather, -7 Celsius. And is the Ember rated for that? I know the Ember is rated for 0 degrees Fahrenheit. That it went through some testing scenario that said, they put it in some cold booth and said it's tested for 0. And theoretically, I could be in there and the tanks wouldn't freeze and we'd be okay, but it does get drafty, especially with the MSL with that big cargo door, the back doors. The whole back MSL area was basically cold or cool. Up in our living area, the heating was sufficient. And last night, since I had the generator on, I threw the space heater on for a little supplemental heat. Had the thermostat, so it only kicked off and on every now and then. And with all that, we really did feel comfortable. But if you walk into that back storage area, you are gonna feel cold. You can feel it on the floor. Of course, there's no rugs or anything, so if you're not wearing socks, you can feel it through the floor. It's cold. Am I impressed with the Ember in this weather? Yeah, I still am. Some of my other RVs would have been colder. The slide out was like a leaky sieve of air and coldness in my last RV. And in this one last night, we were comfy. We each had one blanket, and that was it. So, does the Ember hold up in this kind of weather? Yes. You have to adjust a little bit, dress a little warmer, keep your socks on, to be expected if you're camping. But overall, it held up rather well. I don't know if I'd want to go much colder than this. I don't think I'd want to go to 0 degrees Fahrenheit and camp the way it's tested for that. But if I did, I would definitely have the space heater going all the time. I don't think the Trumacombi heater is turned off either night. It just kept running all night. Sometimes it went into the lower fan mode, but it ran. So yeah, it was cold. You gotta have a little bit of supplemental heating, in my opinion, if you're gonna roll your Ember out into this kind of weather. But if you don't, you'll be fine. Just make sure you're like wearing a hoodie around the trailer. You're not gonna be rolling around in your underwear too much, let's just say. Now, you don't need to imagine that, all right? But yeah. Now Lizzie, this girl loves the snow. Linus, not so much. That boy was rescued from underneath a dumpster in Los Angeles. He's a Los Angeles dog. He was raised in LA, and then he was brought up here as part of a rescue because, I don't know if you know this, but BC, British Columbia, has almost no rescues available locally. I'm happy to say that there's not a lot of dogs getting abandoned up here. As a result, what a lot of the rescue organizations do up here is they actually bring up dogs from the US to get them adopted up here, and that's where our dog is from. So he was from Los Angeles. Our last dog, Lizzie, right there, Lizzie's mom was rescued from Tijuana, but she was brought up here pregnant, so Lizzie was born in Canada. So we've got some NAFTA dogs all around. So now it's Monday. It's what we call Family Day here in BC. Down in the States, I think you guys have President's Day today. We'll be heading over on Tuesday to go to Vancouver. So we're gonna go home today. I kind of thought about just keeping the RV, going out to the doctor's appointment and staying in the RV longer, but then I have to go be on location on Wednesday for a work event, and sometimes you gotta work. It sucks. I wish I could just RV all day. Well, I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna ask these guys if the generator, if they heard the generator, and apologize if they did. And if they didn't, it tells me that that's how far I can be and run my generator without bothering somebody. Let me go find out right now. So yeah, I just talked to them. Sweet couple, sweet little dog. And they said they saw that our generator was on when we came in, so that's why they parked that far. And they've got a diesel heater, which also makes some noise. So they pretty much didn't hear our generator all night. So that's great to hear. This kind of tells me the kind of distance I need in the future. They said they expected, you know, it's winter off-grid camping. They expected to hear generators. So that's nice. Maybe I'm a little over-concerned about it, but, you know, better to be a little over-concerned and a little over-considerate than be rude, you know? Maybe that's why I ended up becoming a Canadian. But we did get some snow last night, nothing like the night before. Looks like we're getting snow all the way from here to Oregon, from what I see on my internets. My friends were camping in Washington, the mountains. They got a foot of snow. Casey Liddell's down there rescuing people in Oregon. A lot of snow out there. Wish to put my glasses on. You guys never see me without my glasses. You get to see all my bags, my morning wake-up bags. Well, what are we gonna do today? Not much. We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna slowly work our way back to home. And then I'm gonna take this rig and give it a good wash down. It's got a lot of salt. It's got a lot of grime. It needs a wash. I'm gonna give it a once over. We're not gonna do a detailed job here, but this thing's pretty dirty. So now we've packed up all the laundry and packing up the last of the inside. Johanna's taking care of that. And I'm about ready to hitch up. You know, I normally don't drive without weight distribution hitch, but I have proven that I can drive without the weight distribution hitch for small periods of time. It's technically not, it's putting a couple extra 100 pounds on the Ford. There's no weight distribution hitch according to the specs, but you know, I've got this super heavy duty cargo package on the trailer, or on the truck, and it doesn't matter. And so the reason I'm pointing this out is because of the size of the parking lot and roadway, if I just come straight in to hitch up, you know, I'm not quite blocking the road, but I'm sending people pretty close to the snow berm over here, and I don't want to do that. The idea is I'll pull in at like a 90-degree angle, maybe like an 80-degree angle, and just hitch up. No weight distribution hitch. Then I can just pull forward and then get out and hook up the weight distribution hitch. And I realized, why am I not doing that more often? A lot of times here at RV parks, you know, once you pull in to go hitch up, it's like the clock is ticking, right? You're blocking the road now. Murphy's Law says as soon as you do that, there's gonna be somebody who coming down the laneway ready to go, and then here you are hitching up. Now, as we know in the RV community, almost everyone is sweet. They give you the hands up, no problem, take your time, you know, and then you sit there and hustle anyway, right? And when you hustle, when you're hitching up, you're prone to making mistakes. You don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna think about, why don't I just start coming in at a 90-degree angle, or, you know, an 80-degree angle, hitch up, pull out, and then I can attach the weight distribution hitch. Similar to what you see RVers do when they've got a toad. You know, they'll pull out of the parking space, and maybe before they pull out of the RV park, they'll like hook up the toad and all that outside of the space. I might start doing that with the weight distribution hitch, just to make life a little easier.
Clear around it.
Okay, well, go ahead and bring the slide out in. Thank you. How did it seem on your end?
All okay?
Yeah, I could hear the rubber seals as they would flip from out to in. I would hear them like sort of, you could tell they were really rigid and really stiff. Normally I'd use this for all the dust and dirt, but I'd use this for all the snow. Again, I don't want this getting in my trailer more than I need to. Gotta open this door here, save the key. Of course, you gotta open the door all the way. All of these are stripped out, so it's gonna be part of the next project you're gonna see very, very shortly. But yeah, all these are stripped out. Let's talk about these. I bought these Helly Hansen gloves a couple of years ago. I bought them when I got my chains because I knew that if I'm stuck somewhere having to put chains on in the snow, you want really heavy duty, mostly waterproof, gripped gloves because it sucks to put on chains in the snow. So I got these Helly Hansen gloves. I've never really put them to the test, but you know, I've been doing now a couple of days of hitching with these. You know, they've got the rubberized, big, thick pads on the inside. They got the nice protection on the back so that if you slam your hand into a piece of metal, you know, trying to lose something up, you don't kill your knuckles because, you know, when you're cold and you go and slam your knuckles, that's no fun. These things were probably, I don't know, 60 bucks Canadian, 70 bucks Canadian. I usually don't buy $70 gloves, but man, you get your money's worth when you do it. So, you know, buy yourself a good pair of gloves if you're gonna be doing winter camping. You know, they're mostly waterproof or entirely waterproof. And if you're gonna be doing work and you're gonna be hitching, maybe dealing with some emergency situations, you wanna have all that extra cladding and padding so you don't hurt your hands in this cold, because nothing's worse than smacking your knuckles when they're frozen. I'm gonna have her pull off that piece of wood, but you can see how we're parked cockeyed, which is always hard to hook up. So I'm gonna have her pull out and then we're gonna finish hitching up. Okay, Johanna, go ahead and pull forward just about a foot so I can get off this piece of wood. Good. Now let's see if it's frozen. Nope, this one's clear. Stand by. I'd like to point out that we've left it in two-wheel drive mode. So 4 miles, it's 4 miles from where we were at Lightning Lakes to the outer road. And I just drove it without being in four-wheel drive mode. Now, to those of you who've been four-wheeling in snow, and hopefully that's just like no big deal for you, but you know, I'm always wondering, you know, I need four-wheel drive for this for sure, but do I need to run it all the time? And after, you know, coming up and down the hills, a good 5% grades, 4% grades, 6% grades, going up and down and all that, I didn't have any problems. There was one point where I stopped because we were filming, and then I started off and it slid for like a foot or two until it got the grab, but it was good. Now, when I wasn't towing, I needed to turn on, or I started to feel the slippage earlier, but the reason is because I have all that weight on my back wheels. Because I have that weight on my back wheels, I don't feel that slide, I don't feel that slip. And it just goes to show you that you want to have four-wheel drive, but you don't need to use four-wheel drive. And from what I understand, you should really avoid towing in four-wheel drive whenever you can. It puts extra strain where you don't need it. So I only try to put it in a four-wheel drive when towing to get out of situations. That's sort of the general principle here. But yeah, the Ember proved fine. We've got the BFG KO3 tires now installed. That was really helpful. And really, at no time did I ever feel sketched or concerned towing this thing in the snow. So that part of riding in the snow, not a problem. I gotta say, this unit has been wonderful for this trip. With all this cold weather, it means more energy consumption. And that's because we're using the electric heater, we're using the electric heating pad for my wife and for the dogs. And this has really helped out bringing more voltage to the table. Oh my God. And as you saw, it's really durable. So let's get it inside and get the dogs warmed up for this trip. That way when we stop for coffee and such, they've got a nice warm heating pad waiting for them. So once again, we got the unit in the back of the truck. We've got the heating pad set up, the doggy heating pad, and Lizzie's ready to go. She wants to play in the snow, and then she wants to get in this heating pad and warm back up. Well, we ain't playing in the snow here because we're near the freeway. Hey, buddy. You look cold. Oh, look, he's doing some kind of, look. Hey, thank you, right on camera. What are you doing? Are you looking for a mate? He's doing some kind of dance. Like a oh. Let's keep going. We're gonna head back home now. Okay, everybody, we made it to Hope, BC. This is where they filmed Rambo, for those of you who don't know. I've talked about that in other videos. But this is a beautiful town, and the most important part is they've got coffee. We could really use coffee. The snow has ended. We're back to where it's +5, +5 Celsius now. So it's warmer, and the dogs are happy. My little Linus is actually out, and we're gonna get some coffee now. Back at home, we unloaded. The trailer is filthy. Luckily, I have tomorrow off, so tomorrow I'm gonna wash this thing here in my townhome kind of complex. I'm allowed to give it a rinse, and I don't like to be in everybody's way, so I'll do it tomorrow when everybody goes back to work, and I have another day off. So we'll get this thing cleaned up in the morning, and then put it away. Got some things to fix. We got to figure out how that mouse is getting in, so we're going to be doing some sealing of any holes. We're going to basically go into the sink. We're going to go underneath the sink in the bathroom. We're going to go underneath the sink in the kitchen, basically pull the panels off, and wherever we see tubes coming in, wherever we see holes, we're just going to seal it up. So a lot of people are sealing from below. We're going to start sealing from within, going down. If they get into our underside, that is a problem, but it's a bigger problem if they get into the interior of the trailer. So one thing at a time. I have a feeling this is going to be our new challenge. That's about it. Let's wrap it up. I appreciate everybody staying tuned. Appreciate All Powers for sending me that unit. The thing was awesome. And unfortunately, with all the snow, we weren't able to charge the All Powers unit. But in the next day or two, I'm going to charge that up to make sure that we top off that battery using the solar charge. Now, unfortunately, we've had nothing but rain since the time I was washing the trailer till today, which is multiple days later while I'm doing the editing. So I wasn't able to do a full solar charge of the battery, but I do encourage you to check out the full unboxing and run-through video I did on the All Powers R1500. The link is in the description. Now I'm gonna go park this thing because I'm tired.